Alright, so our bracket is going to come somewhere in the center of here. So our breather was here. We should be pretty safe to move the breather somewhere like right here. So this will be interesting. I got my hole drilled. I have the old breather, threaded into this nut, and I think this is going to do it. Alright, so we've got this one positioned, strapped in place. It's 10 1/4 from this flange to here as recommended. It is sitting level. The nose is level, so we know it's 90 degrees up and down. I've already tacked one in place. I got some little baby tacks on each side. Might be kind of hard to see. Just kind of hold it in place, so that way if we cycle this thing underneath the car and something's not right, we can grind it back off. Alright, so I got the 4 brackets tack welded on. I used this flange to make sure it was level because it's perpendicular with the pinion. So this upside down right now, but this is going to be our lower brackets. Anyways, lower bracket, got a little tack weld on each side. So that way if I do have to cut them off or remove them or reposition them, that's fine. So I guess what now, I would flip it over, put the wheels back on, assemble it as I can, put the new torque rods on here and here, which will be on the upside, and then unbolt the current rear end under the car, unbolt its torque arms at the front. I don't think I have any brake lines hooked up. I might, but anyways, I'll roll that out. I'm also going to take off this little towing hitch here, and we'll roll it under there. The only thing we're missing is the Panhard bar, which would attach here, which this would go on that side because it's flipped over. But the Panhard bar only gives you, it only acts as a lever. It's got a fixed point. It's going to move up and down. Now the adjustable Panhard bar is going to keep the rear end centered. As the suspension goes up, the rear end's actually going to shift technically to the driver's side, or if the car was to lift too high, it would do that as well, because it's swinging, I guess, on a pendulum is what you could say. But Panhard bar doesn't hold it true left and right. It does allow it to move left and right slightly as the suspension travels. Now the linkages for the torque arms, they're angled, so it's kind of triangulated-ish, and then the lowers should be parallel. So here it is, Dana 30. Got it out. Took a little bit to get it out. Unscrewed the brake lines, hanging there, clean up the mess, and I just took a Sawzall and cut the e-brake cables that go to each one. I think what I'm gonna have to do is kind of like eye splice the e-brake cables that are under there now with the ones on the 8.8 rear end to join them. I think that's gonna be the easiest thing to do. So I wasn't really worried about disconnecting them. You can see the big gigantic spacers they had on these to fit the front wheel drive wheels. We're going to remove the trailing arm. I got new polyurethane trailing arm bushings for up front. Torque arms, they're gone. Panhard bar, it's gone because I got a new one coming. These shocks, will they ever recover? Probably not. I'm gonna have to lower it down and take the wheels off and then roll it up underneath the car. Get the trailing arms bolted up, then the torque arms extended out, bolted up. No Panhard, just put the wheels on. No shocks, no springs. And I'm gonna just lower the car down. I'm not going to let the car sit on the tires, but I'm going to leave a jack stand under there just to kind of simulate, because I don't need to leave this car up. I'm about to be leaving for a few weeks. So at least we'll get that far. And then whenever I get back, I'll have to press in the other polyurethane bushing. Panhard bar should be here. Been waiting on it for 2 months. I'll have new shocks ordered. Probably going to have to rock those stock springs, because I imagine lowering springs would cause these tires to rub. And from what I've seen a lot of people have to do, they have to roll the fender lip, which I don't have time for today. So another reason why not to sit it down. All right, so I got the torque bars and trailing arms connected, cycling up and down. Everything looks to be okay. As far as I can tell, everything lined up okay. I guess I'll take them jack stands out, but I have to, well, I'm gonna lower them down, let's put it that way, because there's no resistance, there's no shocks and no springs to hold it up. I don't want it sitting on the tires. Supported by stands, and so the tire's recessed from my big knuckle to my pointer finger. So it's probably about 1.5 inches that way, but keep in mind there's no Panhard bar under there. If I had suspension on it, I should be able to rock the car side to side. At least that's what's happened one time when I rode in a car where the Panhard broke. It was swaying side to side, but the body supported by jack stand. So seeing that this side can come way out here, man, that angle right there looks good. I should have plenty of tire clearance. It's 235s, but this is where it's going to sit for a little while until I can get back on it. Hey, it doesn't look too bad.